Welcome back to Nick and Rob Homer Hour, and we've got Rob back from his vacation. Rob, oh geez, Rob, do you need to go back? Is this it? Do
We
get
got a
another?
blooper for next week. My mic just crashed. We're good. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, we're definitely add that to the show. Probably won't make it to the show, but yeah, I'm gonna start it back over. But that'll be fun. There you go. That didn't take long.
That did not take long. All right, you can hear me.
Gotcha. All right, so we are back from. Oh, sorry. Here now, I'm screwing up. Okay. I'm gonna kick it again. I'm gonna kick it. I have to feel it. Okay. This is the Nick and Rob Homer Hour, and we're back again. And now you are on the board, Rob. So it's me, Tyler have one, and now you have one on the blooper reel. We'll see what happens this show.
Yeah, I jumped right into it. Didn't secure the mic. Mic ran away, but it's all good.
Yeah. It's good though. It's good. It's good to get some laughs out for these kind of stuff. So it's real fun, and we need some material this time too. So someone's got to mess up, but
someone does.
Yeah,
it'll happen. It always
does. It'll always end up happening. So we got a big show for you ahead. We got a big show ahead of us. I'm working on one. I'm trying, but I think I skirted out of that. But a big show ahead of us as we're going to go into Eastside news. Then, of course, we're going to bring up what's going on with the Colts. And then we take a look at the Hardknocks preview. So let's get it started as we go into Eastside news.
This is Eastside news.
All right, everybody. We've got a lot going on in the AFC East, as always. Scheduling note, paperwork note for y'all. We are filming a little early this week. We have a commitment from when we normally film, so we're doing a slightly earlier recording, but that works up because the Patriots did just wrap up their victory over Minnesota. So clearly, the undefeated Patriots are locked and loaded and ready to win the Super Bowl as they've started 2-0 now in the preseason. But all kidding aside, their offense is looking good. Travion Henderson again with another touchdown, and not just a touchdown, but an electrifying touchdown. He is a playmaker. He's exciting. I think he's going to be one of the best Patriots playmakers in a long time. Definitely the best Patriots chance to be the best patch running back in a very long time. So I'm excited for that.
He seems like he's even trending outside of the Patriots realm. I mean, I'm noticing that on my Twitter feed that a lot of people are picking up on how great this guy's doing.
Yeah, I'm certainly not surprised. I was excited when the Patriots drafted him. I thought by them being able to get him when they did in the second round, it was a steal because, well, I watched him break Texas Longhorns in my heart. In the college football playoff last year, he was a big reason why the Buckeyes were able to beat able to beat the Longhorns. So I'm certainly happy to be rooting for him now on the Patriots. So yeah, he's looking good, man.
Specifically, much needed when it comes to the Patriots because the skill positions are bare and far between, right? It's just not looking too good on the skill position side of it.
It really hasn't been ever since COVID, ever since we lost Tom Brady. We had the last couple of years of Bill Belichick. It seemed like, and I love Bill Belichick, I'm going to be not so secretly rooting for the Tar Heels to win a lot of games just because I love Bill Belichick.
And his girlfriend.
She's pretty ridiculous, but good for her having a type and chasing rich guys and getting money, I guess.
Yeah.
Good for her. But that being said, Belichick, those few years after Brady decided, well, screw all y'all that said Tom Brady is the reason why. We're going to win with no offense whatsoever. It didn't work at all. Past prime Cam Newton being literally the only playmaker on the offense for a little bit, and then, well, our Mac Jones was supposed to be our hero.
Yeah, and I felt like during the Belichick era, it was almost like he was relying on Tom Brady when it came to the offense. They never really drafted for wide receiver. They never did get, good running backs or anything like that. So, even offensive line, it was like, hey, we're paying you, Tom. It's your offense. And then they never broke from that strategy after Tom Brady left.
And yet they weren't giving him, and this for the second half of the Patriots run, the last probably third of those 20 years with the Pats for him. That's kind of how Bill was, which was too bad because Brady wasn't even making top dollar. He was still sacrificing some money because at the time he was still married to Giselle, so he had plenty of money. And well, we know then he got married to Fox, so he's still good for money. But yeah, I mean, Bill tried to draft receivers, but if you were a receiver drafted by Bill Belichick in the first few rounds, you were doomed to failure. It was like the Cleveland Browns drafting a quarterback. It wasn't good. We've had some functional running backs. Ramondre Stevenson, very good running back, but he's not. He doesn't bring the same dynamic playability that Trayvon Henderson does because he's not a pass catching back.
Not as fast.
And he's not as fast. But there's a real good chance for a fantastic thunder and lightning approach with those two backs. That's going to be great. That and also we got year 2 for Drake May. He's got a new offensive coordinator, but it's not just any offensive coordinator. It might be the best offensive coordinator of the 2000s in Josh McDaniels coming back in. So I think that's going to be easy and good. And we've got Stephon Diggs. Yeah, he's probably past his prime. Yeah, he's coming off of a knee injury, but we've got Stephon Diggs, so that's exciting. Most of the receiver spots are kind of locked up at this point. And the other highlight coming out of this game was from undrafted rookie free agent Efton Chisholm, who's out of Eastern Washington State. He had a touchdown today and a few good catches. He's battling pretty much Javon Baker for that last spot on the roster, and he might beat out the more heralded Baker at this point for that roster spot. At the very least, if he keeps it up, he'll be on now that the practice squads are expanded. He'll be on those. So
that's good. Yeah. Capitalize on that and keep them in your stash. That's for sure for the Patriots.
Yeah, and the Pats, their defense is looking good, so that's great. They didn't give too much up from the vaunted J.J. McCarthy. I'm going to be the Vikings are a team I'm going to keep an eye on early in the season because I'm curious to see if McCarthy can actually do something.
Yeah, I'm a big J.J. McCarthy fan, and you seem to be teetering on whether Minnesota's going to be good or not, and I'm like, I think Minnesota's going to be good, but
I hope so.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
For sure. Let's see. Other exciting news in the AFC East. Let's see. With the New York Jets, well, they are the Jets, and quarterbacks can't stay healthy. So some of the big news story from the Jet press is that the Jets are starting to look at potentially adding a veteran quarterback. There's now Tyrod Taylor. He's got some more injury concerns, and he's a solid backup quarterback. He can put together a string of runs, but when I say runs, I mean string of games, and where like 4 or 5 games he can do it for you, maybe not for a full season. But he's also snake bit when it comes to the injury bug. We remember back when he was supposed to be the guy in San Diego, at least the bridge guy before Justin Herbert took over. Apparently there was a team doctor that may or may not have had some money on Herbert starting that punctured him in the lung.
I remember that,
with a needle for an injection.
That was
and
crazy.
Next thing you know, the Justin Herbert era started, and then he's had some other injuries too.
My biggest problem with Tyrod Taylor is he, even in his prime, he just didn't seem to put a lot of zip behind the ball. And you take out his legs as he gets older. I mean, I don't know what version of Tyrod Taylor this is. He's smart, I guess, with the ball.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you ain't going to get much from him.
Yeah, him and Jacoby Brissett, I think, are very similar in what they bring to teams. They're not necessarily going to win you games, but they're also not going to lose games, and they can keep the ship steady till the star comes back. And that's not bad. But of course, the Jets being the Jets, who do you think the Jets would be working on at quarterback right now? Anyone good? If you had to guess.
If I had to just pick one,
go way to the bottom of the barrel. Could you pick someone out?
Oh, like you're talking about that's available, or
yeah,
on the
that's
team
available.
There's no one left.
There's no one left, exactly, which means they worked out C.J. Beathard, veteran C.J. Beathard most recently was backing up Trevor Lawrence before Mac Jones beat him out for that job. And then, of course, because he must have something on a lot of these teams, Nathan Peterman is being worked out. That dude can really, really handle snagging a quarterback 2 or 3 job all over the league, even though he's proven several times he can't play.
Yeah, I'm shocked he gets a job. But Betterman did really well with the 49ers. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a huge one.
He had, yeah, he also had.
Well, yeah, Kyle Shanahan just breeds good quarterbacks. So it's just he developed such a simple system for him that you just got to capitalize on it. As long as you have a little talent, you'll do well.
Yeah, for sure. And then for the Dolphins, I'm going to save my little. We're going to talk more about the Bills in Hard Knocks, but I got a little Bills teaser that I came across. I'm going to save that one for after the Dolphins. I think I'll get you to get going off, which will be great. But we've got the
doesn't take much.
Yeah, the Dolphins are dealing with a bunch of injuries. Devon Shane and defensive lineman Zach Seiler are out, but they're saying Coach McDaniel said days to weeks, so they're not too worried. Their status should be good for opening day. The big excitement right now is who's going to back up Tua, and that's exciting because Tua is another one of those quarterbacks, one of the top 5 talent when he's healthy. Top 7,
accurate.
Top
He's
7 talent when healthy.
Yeah.
But the problem is that healthy part. He always misses games. He really loves to get concussions. So it's a big deal.
I don't think he loves it, Rob. Jeez,
okay.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah, I mean he got better at falling, but like 2 years ago, he kept leading with his head, and it was so bad.
Yeah, he had to practice it, didn't he? He had to actually practice.
He had to go to fall school.
Yeah.
Which is good. He needed to. But last week, McDaniel said Zach Wilson had a solid grasp on the number 2 spot. This week, though, after a decent performance from a lifetime Longhorn Quinn Ewers, McDaniels would not say who was going to be in the lead for number 2, which to me means Ewers is getting better. He's improving in the system, and McDaniels really likes his potential more than Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and Quinn, I think his key is just to stay on a roster. I know he got drafted very late, but if he stays on the roster and keeps on practicing in the league, he's got an NFL arm. He just needs to work the system. In college, he had the same problem. He started in college. They were bigger, badder, faster, and tougher schemes. But Quinn's a smart guy. It just takes him a while to learn the system. And if he continues to be in the NFL league, I guarantee you he will be the Kirk Cousins, and right now I'd say Dak Prescott of the NFL. I think he's got that potential.
When you look at those bank accounts, that's a pretty good spot to be in.
I would trade that right now.
Yeah.
I would definitely trade that.
For sure. So that's good for Quinn. In the game this week, he went 11 for 17 for 116 yards, 2 touchdown passes. And then if you care about passer rating, I think that stat's a little ridiculous. I like the QBR better, but the passer rating, I was able to find 123.7. And one of the things he did was orchestrate a 17-play drive. So that's good.
Keeps him on the field.
Keeps him on the field. And then we're going to talk more about the Bills really when we get into it. But the thing I came across from the Democrat and Chronicle was one, Buffalo Bills joint practice. They get a lot of mistakes, and their joint practices with the Bears. So come on, guys. What are y'all doing there? Let's focus. But then even more fun from Sci.com, the Buffalo Bills, one of the Buffalo Bills reporters says an ex-GM, obviously this is, fantasy booking here, has a proposed Bills-Cowboys trade package for Micah Parsons. So let's look here. Let's see what they're thinking. It's Mike Tannenbaum is the one who's suggesting this.
Of course.
What does Tannenbaum say?
I'm already going to call this a fan article.
Oh, it's total. Yeah, pretty much is. But I wanted to see what you
as
thought.
a writer myself on those.
So the Bills would just get Micah Parsons. You might like this one. The Cowboys get
Josh Allen.
No.
Then I don't like it.
The Cowboys get defensive tackle Ed Oliver and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay.
I don't see why the Bills would do that, but that's a lot. Well,
really?
Then again, hang on. Spoke too soon. Those picks should be in like the 28 to 32 range the next couple of years. So yeah, that's a great deal.
So my argument against it, and by the way, I think that's just that they're having fun, which, everyone knows my stance by now, and most Cowboy fans' stance that we're going to be signing him, and we're going to talk about it when we get to the Cowboys segment.
Yes, we are.
But 2 first-round draft picks. I don't think people understand the impact that Micah Parsons has on the defensive line. I mean, they were 28th. I wrote it on that tweet way back when I was predicting the Dallas Cowboys. They were 28th ranked defensive line when it comes to sacks and stopping the run in the NFL when Micah Parsons was not on the field. And when he was on the field, they jumped 18 spots. So he plays a significant role, especially for the Dallas Cowboys, because we don't have much on the defensive line. We maybe have Sam Williams. That'd be really nice. Odigizua is really nice. We all know. I can't think of it. We're struggling.
Yeah,
on defensive line
you
is
are.
the point. And he is the key to that defensive line that opens it up for other people. So keep your 2 first-round draft picks. Keep your defensive end. We're going to stick with
You don't want
Parsons.
it, Oliver? You don't want it, Oliver?
No. I don't think he's going to be a difference maker that Micah Parsons could be. It'd be like having trading Micah Parsons for DeMarcus Lawrence in 2 first-round draft picks.
No, I hear that. Like
So-
as you're talking right now, I'm trying to think. I can't necessarily name 5 other players on defense that make more of an impact than Micah does. Like not JJ Watt, TJ Watt jumps out in my head immediately as someone that's right there, but not necessarily better.
Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa when healthy.
Mhm.
But after that, I'm like, I don't know who I'd put in ahead. Maybe when if Diggs is making lots of interceptions, but that's already on the Cowboys, and that's a hot or cold right there.
We've I didn't have it mentioned, but I can get into Trayvon Diggs.
Let's
I'm not
go.
the
Let's
biggest
get
fan.
in.
Trayvon Diggs is not looking too good in training camp because he's not trying to recover from the injury, and he's saying he's looking weak.
He's trying to get more money, right?
Well, he already got paid, and Jerry's not happy about it. And there are a lot of people think that's got something to do. Are we in the Cowboys segment?
Let's do it. I'm done with the AFC East. That's why I wanted to do the Bills last. I thought that'd be a fun transition right into the NFC East. So
that was genius. Yeah. So Trayvon Diggs, he actually posted a video about his recovery, a documentary that I watched, which, by the way, I watched it so you don't have to because it was boring. It was awful. But man, if that guy was trying to tell the NFL world that he's getting better and he's working hard at it, I did not get that. I got that he likes to play Madden a lot. That's what I got out of it. So he drives me nuts. Maybe I think he's always had that talent. And he's always been a cut above everyone, so he's just taking advantage of it. But this comeback from the injury, I'm really nervous about heading into the league.
Yeah, fair enough.
But you did mention it, Micah Parsons still not signed. So what did I predict? I said after week 2 of the preseason. So
hopefully
today's the day.
So the hope is that when we're filming our next podcast, we're talking about Micah, or we're gonna hopefully have a random midweek emergency pod.
Hey, that's a good deal. Yeah, if we get that, whether it's just me or Rob, depending on our scheduling conflicts or anything like that. If we do sign Micah Parsons, I'm going to jump on and pretend to be excited and that I didn't kind of forecast this.
And Jerry will have overpaid him, and that'll be a problem. But
hey, I'm okay. Micah deserves the money. Now we are putting ourselves in cap hell because this is the 4th time that you're doing it, and in the
last couple of years.
Yeah. So instead of paying him early and you get a little cheaper rate on him, we're paying him the maximum amount. So it doesn't really work out. So a lot of people are speculating that Micah Parsons is changing his tune on this whole entire strategy with it, though. So he threatened a trade and thought that he was going to get what he wanted. And Jerry stood tall and basically said, yeah, I don't really care. I'm not going to answer your trade. You don't have leverage right now, which he's reading the tea leaves correctly. He really doesn't have that much leverage. He's got a 1-year deal left on this current contract. So it's like you cannot get paid and not play this year, or you can demand all the trades you want, but we're not going to do it. Which I don't think is going to end up happening before the regular season. But after that move, I don't think it really worked out for him. I don't think he's happy with it. And he's doing exactly what Dak did during his negotiation, and he ended up being the highest paid quarterback at that time. So it worked. Let your agent cook, stay out of the spotlight, don't talk to the media, and just wait.
Yeah.
Wait, and let the behind the scenes work itself out, because Jerry knows he's looking at the same defensive line I am, and it doesn't take you long to realize, we don't have DeMarcus Lawrence anymore. That was something that we could have hung our hat on. We got nothing.
Yeah.
It's Micah Parsons or go.
And if we were to play the schedule game again with those Cowboys without Micah Parsons, it'd look a lot different.
I would say that is a at best top 20 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know how much I value defensive line, and he is the defensive line. Yeah. So,
and then history shows you, I think the last time and possibly the only time a high profile player decided to hold out through a whole season and to kind of skip and get paid was probably Le'Veon Bell, which granted that was a running back. So he really overplayed his hand and ended up probably with like half of what he would have had he just played for the Steelers. Micah Parsons, I would say, has a lot more value, plays a much more valuable position, but financially it does not make sense for him to hold out all the way through the year.
Yeah, and he strategically played the more valuable position. Remember, when he came into the league, he came in as a linebacker, but just this last year, he wanted to switch to defensive end, which we all know
it was good.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. But it's fair, too. I mean, he played defensive end. So, I mean, is that a linebacker or is that a defensive end?
Yeah.
That's a defensive end.
Yes, it is.
The other thing coming out of the Cowboys right now, and this is a shocker, Jerry Jones had cancer for the last 10 years. I had no clue about this. He kept that on the wraps really well.
10 years is a long time for skin cancer.
Yeah, and another weird, and for his age, too.
Yeah.
And it was melanoma, the worst case one, and they actually projected him not to survive. They thought he was going to die from it. And if you remember back, Cowboys fans, there was a couple of interviews where I think it was 3 years ago. He always does the Cowboy address in the beginning of the year, the State of the Cowboys address. And one year he was just teary eyed and just saying, "I just love the fact that the media is over here, that you guys are here, that we're here, and we're just enjoying life right now."
So do you think that's shortly after he got the diagnosis?
Well, that was 3 years ago, so maybe the diagnosis was not going well on that. And I'm wondering if he just thought, his time will come at this. And as much as we don't like Jerry Jones or get frustrated with Jerry Jones, one, I think it would hurt the NFL if Jerry Jones goes down.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Then who do you got? Robert Kraft?
Yeah, and he's just nowhere near as flashy.
No. And Jim Irsay's gone, and
I mean, he's controversial. I'll give Robert Kraft that, but I don't know if he's got the Jerry Jones flash to it, though.
He does not.
Yeah.
I'm happy he does.
So he got this treatment for the last, just recently. It's called the PD-1 treatment, and it's an experimental drug that's coming out, and it's really interesting. I don't want to get too involved in the science of it.
I mean, you can.
But essentially what it does is, instead of trying to kill your entire system, that's what chemotherapy does,
right,
to take out the cancer. So
nuke everything.
Yeah, nuke everything, and you're playing the game of your life versus this cancer, which one's going to survive in the long run, and that's what you're playing. You're just playing Russian roulette there, and it's very dangerous. The PD-1 drug is just a new treatment where it just amps up your antibodies, trains your cells to attack the cancer, and gets the T cells to go at it. So, I get it. He's a rich billionaire and he was able to use this kind of thing, but this could be a good sign in the future for cancer research and things like that, because for him to survive it, he had it in his lungs, he had it in his liver, he had it all across his body. I mean, it was done.
Liver, you say, huh?
Yeah.
So good ad for Johnny Walker Blue?
I think Johnny Walker Blue is part of the cure.
Yeah.
We don't condone that, but we're
drink responsibly, please.
Yeah, drink responsibly while I got the beer here, of course. Another thing that came out of this, though, is Brian Schottenheimer at the age of 28 had thyroid cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's not an easy one either.
No, not an easy one, but I guess they caught it early, so
Okay.
he was fine. But I don't even know how they caught that early at the age of 28. It takes forever for your blood work to get messed up there.
Yes, it does.
But Brian basically saying hats off to Jerry, especially at his age, to survive. So, like I said, all things considered, I don't wish death upon Jerry. Okay, I know some might disagree, but I really don't. I would never want that for him.
No. It's one thing to use his name in vain and curse that you can't wait for him to pass for the Cowboys ownership to change, but you don't actually. It's not something you actually mean. No one should mean that.
Yeah, no one, and I think most people don't. But I don't know. Actually,
in this day and age,
nothing more controversial than the Cowboys. So a lot of frustration. But yeah, that was all I had for the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't have too much. Of course, it's just going to be the Micah trade. But yeah, I found that article very interesting in it. And I'm sorry, it was I don't know if I said it. Dan Greenspan from ESPN wrote that article. Yeah.
And then we'll have, like we said, we're filming this a little early, so we'll have data from 2 preseason games the next time we're recording for the Cowboys, because the Cowboys are playing in 30 minutes from when we're recording right now.
30 minutes, and you could tell I am trying to get it wrapped up so we could watch Joe Milton throw 100-mile-per-hour balls, go Uncle Rico on that offense, because throw it over those mountains.
Yeah.
Let's see if he changes his tune on that, though. We'll find out here shortly. So the Eagles. So I found a way to kind of tie it in, and I'm using the Eagles to do this. Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Sports things. There's really not much going on with the Eagles, and it's crazy. The team that won the Super Bowl doesn't have much controversy going on right now.
That's bad news for other teams in the NFC East.
Yeah. It's always scary. You don't want a clean slate heading in when your opponent has a clean slate heading into the season. AJ Brown's back from his injury, so things are fine. So I found weird things like they increased their beer costs to $18.50 for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the fans, the Philly fans, we all should know them.
That's going to backfire. That's going to backfire. They're all just going to get slammed on the train heading into the stadium, or get slammed in the parking lot or in Philly Live, and then go in, and it's going to make it worse. Because do the Eagles, so teams that do this to try to keep the drinking down, do they forget that you can get full on beer? It's possible.
Yeah, and
so don't make them $1 a beer, but you can still keep beers around $10, and people aren't. They've already spent like $300 on their tickets, $75 on a hot dog. They're not going to buy that many beers without taking out a loan. That's ridiculous.
And it's a blue collar town too. It's not like Philadelphia's doing great right now.
Yeah, no, I lived in Philly for a year. I've got a lot of friends that still live there. It's a great place to live. The sports fans are very passionate. The sports talk radio is actually really enjoyable to listen to. It's a good town, so having their team kind of try to bloodlet them, that's not cool.
Yeah, not cool. And I do actually, I listen to one show, the Touchdown Brothers. I listen to them every once in a while. So I like to. You got to know your enemy, right? Got to know your enemy. So the other thing that came out though, and this is how I'm going to relate it, okay? Because we're trying to fit it in here.
Even if we didn't have a segue, we just have to talk about it.
Yeah, so I figured this is a great time to talk about it. For the audience members that don't know, Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce have a podcast, and they invited Taylor Swift on. So, we watch that podcast, so you don't have to if you're not a big Taylor Swift fan.
Honestly, it's an enjoyable podcast if you just if you want to see something that's going to be talked about all over the sports zeitgeist for the next probably week plus, all over popular news for the next week plus. Or if you're one of those that just kind of loves sappy love stories, that they kind of really laid into that. Yeah, but we're not going to cover that part of the podcast.
No, we're just going to cover Taylor Swift jumping on, to appease some Swifties out there. If we have any out there, we can. But I like what you were saying. I do like what Taylor Swift's doing for the NFL. I think she's helping to benefit. I know that's a controversial stance as a football fan that's
Yeah.
a male, apparently. But I do think she adding different light to the show. My girlfriend, to this day, I mean, when the Chiefs are on, she's like, "Where's Taylor? Where's Taylor?" You know, she wants to watch the Chiefs simply because of Taylor Swift. So it's drawing new eyeballs, and
It's making the NFL, especially the Chiefs, especially, but the NFL as a whole, it's making them a lot of money. And I think she just made the Kelces a lot of money this week as well. I'm assuming, without even checking numbers, this will be far and away their highest rated pod ever.
easily. So they typically get about 100 to 200,000 views, which is pretty good for that show. You know,
Just a couple more than us.
yeah, just a couple. We would be begging for that. Maybe we should be ex NFL players. That would probably help.
That would probably help.
But they also have good personalities too that just bring it out. So it's just a good podcast. But they invited Taylor Swift on, and now they're getting multi-million views. I don't know if you want to look it up right now what it currently is at, but last time I checked, I think it was at 15 million views. So it seems to be doing well. While you're looking at that, though, I had
that's fine. I'm looking to find out.
Gotcha. So there was something that she said that I actually found a little interesting on the show.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she brought up was she thought that they go ahead.
17 million
17 million. Okay. All right. I actually think that's relatively small.
in 48 hours.
Yeah. Still 17 million though. I mean,
It's gonna keep growing.
this is nationwide.
It'll probably
This is
hit.
worldwide.
It'll probably hit 25 million plus within a week.
Yeah. That's my estimate was this is going to get them 100 million views. Right.
In the long run, probably. But it's like how long do you keep counting them? You know.
Yeah.
And just for context, their previous episode 10 days ago, which featured Bill Murray. That's pretty good if you're a sports fan. You love Bill Murray.
Of course.
695,000 views. and that was one of their big, like, yeah. So they're usually looks like, just looking at some, they often are around 150 to 200,000 views with the occasional spike towards 700,000. Well, this is a pretty big spike.
Huge spike, and I think it's only going to go up from there. But what I was saying with what she brought up, she said that she didn't understand football too well, right? And she said that she thought, she was like, how do you feel that you're going to be lining up against your brother? She's talking to Travis Kelce, versus Jason Kelce.
Probably from the Super Bowl years back.
Yes, yeah. And she was asking, what's that like? You're going to be lining up against him. Fun fact before I go into that, did you know she was an Eagles fan before she was a Chiefs fan?
That's kind of hilarious.
Not for me. But she did cheer for Philadelphia Eagles, and it turns out the Kelce brothers get both of her fandom geared up. But she thought that they would actually line up against each other, okay? Tight end versus the center. I don't think that's how it works. And they had to explain that to her. Yeah, I'm never going to see him across the field, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to be playing at different times.
Granted, if you don't know anything about the sport and you just see the headlines and the articles, you would assume exactly what Taylor assumed.
Yeah, that they're going against each other. But that brought up the idea, and we have a friend named Patrick that likes to do weird rules.
He does indeed.
In football. And I'm telling you, what kind of chess match would that be if you had two offenses playing against each other, and that's the game of football?
It would be high scoring.
Would it? Or do you just start playing defense with your offense? You're playing right up against them.
Right. I'm just saying when the offenses were on offense versus when they were playing defense, they'd have a pretty big advantage.
No, but I'm saying like the two offenses going at it.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they move up and down the field, and
so there's two balls, or the ball's just live?
Two balls, each one get a ball. And now what do? Do you even have offensive linemen? Because maybe the offense on the other end just won't be attacking you.
Lamar Jackson becomes an unbelievable threat. He's already an unbelievable threat. But now in this craziness, oh yeah.
I think what does Pat McAfee always say? Smart people figure it out. Okay, try to get that sport somewhere along the lines, and I guarantee you, Nick and Rob will at least follow it for one or two games and then go back to the NFL, a better product. But
yeah,
at least get it up and running, because I just found it fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah. So then you had some conspiracies going out that seem
Taylor Swift loves her conspiracies. She loves numerology. So yeah,
she's really big on numerology, and she said something that she goes 60% of the time I think of making sourdough bread. Did you hear that?
I did see the clip because I didn't watch the whole pod, but I watched pretty much all the clips I could find. And I did see that she's big into sourdough. Taylor Swift, just like us.
Yeah, well, and this I'm ripping this conspiracy straight from the Jessica Benson podcast, so credit to her out there. My girlfriend showed me that podcast, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'll bring it up on the show. But anyway, the significance of it is the mascot's name for the 49ers is Sourdough Sam.
Oh, okay.
And the statement itself is a little weird, right? 60% of the time, I think of sourdough bread. What a weird number. And you said it yourself, she's into numerology. Mm-hmm. Well, that would happen to be Super Bowl 60.
So is that her predicting that it's going to be Niners Chiefs? Or is that her saying
it's going to be at the Niners Stadium for the Super Bowl, no matter what?
Oh, I'm connecting the dots. So she's Super Bowl 60 halftime is what she's hinting at.
Bingo. That's what Jessica Benson, who sniffed that out, must be a big 49ers fan. I didn't even know about Sourdough Sam being the name of the mascot. Yeah. But yes, that is what a lot of Swifties out there
oh yeah, it's all over the place now. So that's this year. Super Bowl 60 this year.
Weird. And who thinks of sourdough bread 60% of the time?
Nobody.
It's weird.
That would, and I know the Super Bowl always sets records. That'll be the highest watched halftime ever. It'll be the biggest watched game ever. And if somehow the Chiefs are also in it,
my Lord. Now, you don't think that's going to happen, though, right?
I don't. I think the Chiefs are taking a step back this year, but how often in the last 20 years did everyone write off the Patriots? And then they were either in another Super Bowl or Final Four, AFC Championship game type deal. So if the Chiefs get in, will Travis Kelce become the first person to ever perform in a halftime show for the Super Bowl while he's also playing in the Super Bowl?
Probably. If he ends up making it, that's got to be a guaranteed stat, which does not help the NFL conspiracies on the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people think the games are fixed towards their favor because of Taylor Swift.
And will Taylor Swift just be blatantly on the sidelines with a headset on?
Oh, come on, man. All right. That's my line. That's my line with Taylor Swift. No. She didn't even know what a first down was in the show. She does now. And you could tell, by the way, that first game she hit the scene, like the things that she was cheering at was like a 5-yard pass to Kelce. I was like, honey, like you're
excited. She was excited.
Her man caught the ball. Yeah. But that's all I got again for the Eagles.
And yeah, I gotta say, like, I know there's like people get mad about Taylor Swift. She had a funny line in the podcast where she said, "Yep, just what most male sports fans want in their lives is more Taylor Swift." So that I thought that was great. But I love I'm not a Swiftie. I can't name any of her songs. I've heard some of them. Obviously,
22 is a good one, right?
Oh, is that? Yeah, I just don't know any of the names. Like I'm sure I know some lyrics. I just don't know the names.
Right.
But I mean, one of my favorite college basketball teams, the Providence Friars, a few years back, the student section would really sing along hard on a lot of her songs, and that became there was one that became like an anthem for the team as they made it into the NCAA tournament, which is pretty cool. I don't know the name of the song. I don't know. But I do think it is fantastic. The more eyes you can bring to a sport, the more we can come together around something that is as national a pastime as it is.
Mm-hmm.
The more people watching, the more people talking about it, it's just better for everybody.
Yeah, and the NFL, especially trying to get world renowned. Taylor Swift is a good start to get there because she is world renowned.
Yes,
her Eras tour. So we go on to the Washington Commanders and some good news popping out. It looks like Terry McLaurin, they took him off the PUP list. They haven't signed him yet, but it seems like he's getting out of his hold-in. He's actually playing right now.
Yes. And at this point in time, does that mean he's eligible for week 1? Or because I know there's weird rules with the pup list.
I'm going to presume he's ready for week 1. Maybe that's why they took him off it.
Or it might have been hitting a deadline.
Yeah, you could have probably hit that deadline, so they just took advantage of it.
Yeah.
But big news there, though. If they get Terry McLaurin, this team should be a favorite to make a deep playoff run. As much as I hate saying it, but,
favorite to win the NFC East.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're my favorite at least to win the NFC East because I kind of hope that as long as it's not the Eagles, not just because I don't like the Eagles, I also love this NFC East streak that we're running where you have a different division champion 16 years in a row.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's keep going. I think that's a fun thing to carry on. And if they end up pulling it off, it would continue.
It would.
And then the Cowboys can win it,
Or,
no,
no,
not the Giants. No, not them right now. But who knows? No, I'm really low on the Giants. Trey Amos though looked like he was holding his own against the preseason opponent, or not preseason. I'm sorry, practice over with the Cincinnati Bengals, holding up Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's the rookie cornerback over there. So that's
good news.
Yeah, and Dan Quinn does a wonderful job at breeding quarterbacks, man. That guy knows how to train them. And if you don't know his strategy, it's a simple one. We're going to get away with pass interference every single play and get real physical. And one of those times they're not going to call it every single play. And that seems to be what Dan Quinn counts on with this kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be his game plan going on over there. But
Dan Quinn's great until he gets into a Super Bowl, and then
oh man, still pooping on Dan Quinn. Poor Dan Quinn, but he did choke it though. I mean, you're the head coach. Tell your offense, hey, we're done with the pass. We are done with the pass. Like it's over. But you made Rob's day, so
yes, you did.
So hats off to you, Dan Quinn, for that Super Bowl run. But that's about all I got for the Commanders. And looking at the Giants, something not good is coming down. It looks like Scadaboo will not be playing week 1. They're already pretty much determining that's going to be the case. And man, I'm bummed out. Not because
he's got to be one of their top jersey sales too right now.
Yeah, and he's just fun to watch.
What's the injury?
Hamstring.
That's kind of important.
Very important. And he did show that frustration a week ago when he had to get off the field, but it looks like he's not getting much better on that.
But you know what? It's the Giants. They're going to be, sorry, Brian Dable, they're going to be firing their coach. They're going to be lucky to win 3 to 4 games this year. If I'm Cam Scadaboo, what's the rush? Let me get fully healthy and then come back.
You tell that man, no, you cannot get on the field.
Oh,
go ahead, do that.
I am positive in that game against UT when he was with Arizona State. I'm positive he had a concussion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think he was running on adrenaline and smelling salts only, and he still nearly beat the Longhorns, a much, 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 much better Longhorns team.
Yeah, and I was shocked he was drafted so low. I mean, I just thought he was pretty good at the 4th round pick,
Yeah.
But
because of his size.
And yeah, he is a tiny guy, but man, can he hit. He's not going to have a long career. I'm going to go ahead and announce that.
He'll be a Peyton Hillis type.
Yeah, short. It'll be fun for those 4 years that he's at his top, but then after that, it's going to fall apart because, man, that guy, the way he plays, I mean, he's already getting hamstring injuries. That's not a good sign at his age.
So if you were his agent, you'd be focused heavily on as many endorsement deals as possible.
Oh, get him, and he deserves them, man. He's just an entertaining guy. There are trade rumors going on because of their weird. They have way too many quarterbacks. Let's just get that out of the way. They got Jameis Winston, they've got Russell Wilson, and then Jackson Dart.
They never should have brought Russell Wilson
in. I don't get it because they signed him before they got Jackson Dart, right?
Right, and they signed him after they signed Jameis Winston. I don't think Winston ever goes to the Giants if Russell Wilson's signing there.
Yeah,
he goes elsewhere. He goes to the Browns or back to the Browns. He was with the Browns a little bit ago. He finds somewhere to go. Stays with the Saints. He has better options. Because Jameis Winston, he's kind of winning people over, and his play's getting better, and he's had eye surgery, so he can see now. I mean,
Jameis Winston.
You know, these things are important. But yeah, they do have too many quarterbacks. But who are they trading? Are they trading Russell?
It's not going to be either of them, though. I think later in the season, one of those are going to get it traded, but it's looking like Tommy DeVito.
Are the Jets trading for him?
The rumor mill is that the Jets might be trading for him. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think he can play outside of New York. Maybe Philly, but
no,
because it's all right there.
Yeah.
But
no, you got to keep him in New York, man. It's Tommy DeVito, but I honestly don't think he's good enough to be in the league too much
what would
longer.
they get for him? Like the Giants personnel of the Jets personnel would like clean the lockers for the Giants personnel for a week.
Maybe some cash considerations.
$10.
$10. Yeah. Because I'm sure he's hurting their contract really bad right now. His agent was debating a big contract, and the Giants were like,
"Is DeVito's contract? DeVito's agent actually a real agent, or is he just a weird like meme come to life from 2 years ago?"
Well, I've seen him
in the weird suits.
I would not want to negotiate with him because I think he's got ties that could hamper me. So I wouldn't even want him on my team because of that.
I'm going to say I don't think he has the ties. I think he's cosplaying those ties to the mafia.
Do you want to take that chance?
No.
Yeah, especially in New York. I wouldn't even take that chance. But it looks like they might be. They're going to trade one of them. So why not? Yeah, or he's going to get cut. So if you can get anything for him, I think that's the game plan there. But it would be cool if he was with the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, the Browns don't have enough quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's another team that has way too many quarterbacks. I cannot figure out what's going on. And then got Huntley. I'm like, why do you need Huntley? You already have 5. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, Deshaun Watson doesn't count. He's never playing in another Browns, or hopefully not in the NFL. But I'm assuming the only reason why they drafted Shedeur Sanders is they're like, he's sitting here in the 5th round. He really is a first-round talent. And they're like, well, if he can ball out in the preseason, we might be able to flip him for a 3rd-round pick for a desperate team, and we've just upgraded for next year.
Yeah, maybe that's the game.
Otherwise, I don't know why they drafted him.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it looks like Shedeur Sanders is hurt too. I heard about an injury. Hurt? Yeah, I heard about an injury that might have affected heading to week 1. But
Dylan Gabriel that's why he didn't play in the first preseason game. So
man, yeah, maybe that's why they hired him. They knew they were injury prone.
Yeah.
But that is it for Eastside News as we walk you through the AFC, NFC East. And
hang on real quick. Taylor Swift, now that you've gotten into the podcast game, you're welcome on anytime. Have your people call our people.
Now, we're a great podcast that gets over, at best, 100 views. So if you could boost our numbers any way possible, that would be great.
Just another 4 or 5 views would be great.
That's why we're speaking so positively of you, okay? But outside of Taylor Swift and the AFC, NFC East, we are going to move on to what's happening with the Colts.
What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? Is it go blue? Let's ride. Or lucky shoe? Who knows? Who knows? What's going on with the Colts?
Yes, that's what's going on with the Colts as we randomly selected this team, and we love the Colts because we randomly selected them.
But what I do love is, like I mentioned last week, we have a legitimate quarterback battle, and that's always fun to watch. But after this week, it looks like that battle might be wrapping up, barring an injury to Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I saw that Anthony Richardson not looking too good.
No, he is looking good. He came out of the gate 6 for 8 this week. He's doing good. And Daniel Jones continues to be Daniel Jones.
Yeah, they're currently playing right now, right?
They played earlier today.
Okay, so this is Sunday for you guys. I know we're going to post this on Tuesday, but this is Sunday. But yeah, Anthony Richardson looking a lot better. I was reading reports of that. Yep. Looks like his hand injury wasn't too bad.
No, he's fine. Like we said, it popped back in. I think if it was a real game, I think he would have kept playing. If it was a playoff game, he definitely would have kept playing. But I think right now, what we're seeing is someone that realizes you got to leave it all out and go all out, or this team is not yours anymore. And I think he's playing freer because of that.
Yeah, a little bit more relaxed. And I mean, that is Anthony Richardson's style too. It's just, run the ball when you can. And if he develops his accuracy and his attitude compared to last year, he has the talent to be a good quarterback. He's got a strong arm.
Yeah.
So, you just got to learn the game, get a little better at it, and he could be good. I'm not high on him. I never have been. But
he was
development is real.
2 or 3, whenever it was that he came out in the draft a couple of years ago, he was, the quarterback that teams fell in love with for his body stats, for his arm strength, for his hand size, for his speed. They didn't necessarily fall in love with it for what he did on the field because he had so few games of tape. He was kind of like the Trey Lance of that draft. He's unlike Trey Lance. He's actually been playing, and I do think he's got the potential to be a starting quarterback in the league. He just hopefully can put it together.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of using the combine or body type or things like that to try to determine if the player is good or not. I am a big believer in how did they play in college football, because that's the game. You are experiencing the fog of war that is football, and how do you answer to it in that chaos?
Yeah.
And so if you didn't perform well there, which is why I'm not a fan of his.
He just didn't have enough. I think he started maybe I don't even think it was 10 games. I'd have to look at stats. Sorry, I didn't look them up. But he didn't start a lot of games, and then he maximized what he did because he's made a lot of money he was a first round pick, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So he did the right thing by going in the draft when he did financially. But he's a developmental quarterback, and we're seeing him get better and better. And I think they're going to keep getting better now because the Colts play in the South, in the AFC South. They're thinking playoffs. They're thinking contending for a Super Bowl. Not that they're talented enough to do it, but because it's the AFC South and none of them are talented enough to do it.
The AFC.
Maybe the Texans, maybe.
No, the Texans probably could because they actually have a quarterback, CJ Stroud, and they do have a good defense, and I love their coach too.
They have probably one of my favorite coaches in the NFL in DeMarco Ryan. They also have in that division a coach I'm super excited about in Liam Cohen to see what he can do. So yeah, I'm glad we're gonna have some insight and have a reason to pay attention to the AFC South this
year. Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't help right now. They have an offensive line trouble. Apparently, a lot of them are going down, so some rookies are going to start, and that's the last thing they need.
We're seeing that honestly across training camps right now is offensive line issues. I gotta wonder. I brought this up again last week. I'll bring it up again now. Is the way training camps are run these days in the name of player safety, where they're pretty much always in shorts. I don't think they're getting enough reps. I don't think their bodies are taking enough hits. And so then when they're actually playing in these joint practices, because the joint practices, they go harder than they do the games. That's where we're seeing a lot of these injuries. I think that the bodies just aren't ready. And so that's why we're seeing these injuries. That's why we're going to see more in week 1 and week 2. And then the injuries hopefully will taper off as, we get a month into the season. But I'm no expert on that, but I feel like we had a lot more of those injuries than we did 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, and I think they're getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and then that's another factor that goes into it. And they're right there on the front line. So these guys, they take a brutal impact. In fact, when they did the CTE study, they said it was the offensive linemen that were getting the worst, offensive and defensive.
Yeah, they're getting into 60-plus fights a game.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah, like car collisions. That's their actual, like they always say, the running back and linebackers that get at it. It's like a car collision, but it's like that's what they do every play for the offensive line.
60 car crashes, 60 fights every game.
Yeah, not for me. I'm too tiny. I'm too frail.
I could not play offensive line. I would be terrible at it.
For sure, but it's becoming my favorite position as older you get. So to the young fans, this is what ends up happening. I promise you. You start talking like the old guys, and you start saying, yeah, it's all about the offensive line, defensive line.
It is. If you have good line play on both sides of the ball, you win. If you don't, you get a top 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah, yeah. So,
and you better solve it then
for sure. But that's all we got for the Colts. We don't have much going on yet. We're going to keep an eye on them and see how they do in the future. But we'll pay attention to them all year long because we randomly drew them with no veto.
No veto. They're the team of the pod for this
year. Yeah. But let's take a look at some Hard Knocks, shall we?
Yeah, Hard Knocks. That's what it was. Now we're live.
Oh, gotcha.
So, that transition was a little longer, I think, than either one of us was expecting. But here we are talking about Hard Knocks now. And I got to say, Nick, Hard Knocks has been trending this way the last couple of years. One, with the change in not showing the cuts, and then also factoring in the NFL, how they changed it to all the cuts are now right at the end instead of throughout the season, throughout the preseason. So that affects the drama. But then two, even with those cuts, we're no longer in the office seeing players have their dreams shattered.
You're bringing up a good point because they used to just show the bad players, the players that are trying to make the cut, and they're hardly doing it. They show a little this game, but
a little,
yeah.
But
the funny wide receiver, we'll talk about him later.
Him. Yes, we're going to talk about that Scooter for sure. But I feel like it's kind of jumping the shark because one, you're not showing the stuff that really made it Hard Knocks what it is. Two, we've got the oversaturation now because it happens. We have in-season Hard Knocks, we have off-season Hard Knocks before the training camp hits. So there's a lot of of course they're making money on the IP. Why wouldn't they? But it's not quite the same. And I really felt, I mentioned this to Nick offline as we were prepping for the show. I felt this episode like I was watching a whole bunch of sob stories from American Ninja Warrior. It didn't feel like Hard Knocks to me. It felt like they were just trying to do what television producers do when they feel like they need to pull in the average viewer, which is let's get them emotionally invested in the players by something that happened in their lives outside of it. You don't need that with sports. You really don't. But I mean, that's my opinion. But I don't think you do. Let the play on the field draw people in. What do you think about that?
Well, the DeMar Hamlin situation, I mean,
that's let's talk about that. Go for it.
So that's what Rob was kind of alluding to with the heartstring stories that seems to be taken off with college football and the NFL. It seems like every time these pregame shows have to show this too, and it looks like Hard Knocks is falling.
We got to let TV networks stop letting their TV-ness get in the way of good sports.
Yeah, and they're always interesting articles and really deep and stuff like that. But you're like, guys, for college game days specifically, I know this is about Hard Knocks, but for college game days specifically, you're waking up Saturday morning, getting all excited for your team to play or see what's going on the slate, and now you're hearing about some guy that had his brother die in a DWI car crash or something.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
I mean, there's places for those stories. Sometimes I feel like they overemphasize.
Yeah, it used to be called E60. Yep,
E6.
Was great for that.
It was. You tune in expecting that. And DeMar Hamlin, let me just say, unbelievable miracle that one, he survived. Two, he's still in the league. He came back and he's playing. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But in this week's episode, they decided to bring the viewer along as if we would have no idea what happened to him 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching Hard Knocks, you know what happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks is not a show that's, one, it's on HBO. Two, it's about preseason happenings, training camp happenings of what used to be really bad teams. Now it's a really good team. So you don't have your casuals that might be flipping the channels and be like, oh, what's this? That's not the Hard Knocks audience. So I love his story and the fact that he has survived. I'm a Red Cross trainer myself. I train a lot of people in CPR. It's so important. His story is very inspirational, but it felt so out of place here to an audience. It felt like they were filling time because the whole audience already knows the story.
Yeah, but the one good thing out of it was that we're promoting CPR and
Yeah.
how to use that, which is good for you, right? You know,
Good for everybody. Everyone, that's not a skill everyone should know.
yeah. So I found that part really good from it, but yeah, I was. It started off like we had to talk about it. It is an elephant in the room,
Mhm.
so I don't have a problem with Hard Knocks jumping in on it. But man, they hung on to it strong, and they're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna have to.
It was a full like 15-minute segment.
Yeah, showing him pray and things like that. But hey, hats off to you, DeMar Hamlin. This is nothing about you. We love your story. We
Yeah.
love the fact that you came back. But yeah,
It just seemed retelling a story just to fill time seemed odd.
yeah,
But yeah, hey, if we get a lot of hate views for this take, cool, we got more views.
yeah.
But that wasn't my intention at all. It's just again, appreciate his story. It's just why are you retelling it?
I love it, Rob. That's the Jerry Jones way right there. If you get a
Yes.
lot of hate stories, it's still
Yeah.
news.
The one fun thing that I did take from this episode, they were talking about Buffalo Joe early on, who was an undrafted player that from Buffalo, grew up as a Buffalo Bills fan, made the team last year, played 13 games. He's fighting for a roster spot again. So it was fun focusing on him for a few minutes. But even better, if you a fan of the pod, last week we talked about our love of old school training camps
Mhm.
and how they used to be, and that seems to be what the Bills still have going, which is great.
For sure.
But Buffalo Joe played college football for the first 4 years of his career at Bryant University, which is in Smithfield, Rhode Island, which is where those Patriots training camps were when I was a kid.
Oh,
So
that's
when I
cool.
was getting Drew Bledsoe, Adam Vinatieri, and Sean Morey's autographs, it was on that campus. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Gave you back some memory berries, huh?
Yes, it did.
It's really cool. The other cool thing on the show is they do have a backup kicker, emergency kicker.
Yes, they do.
And of course, it's running back Ray Davis.
Yeah, and Ray Davis is right now one of the biggest beneficiaries of James Cook holding in. He's getting a lot more reps as a running back, so he can make plays. We've seen him make plays before,
Mhm.
but now, like even coach, they showed Sean McDermott in a press conference, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out. We might, because if we need him, we might have to, have that shoe ready to go. Like he might score a touchdown or have a play, and we might have to throw the shoe out to him really quick so we can make a kick." He made some kicks.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's hoping he doesn't really get into the situation outside of preseason. But
It's a great preseason story.
Yeah, but in that, another thing I noticed from the show is used to be preseason, they would sell out the entire stadium.
Mhm.
And I'm noticing it's starting to look a little UFL-y out there when they
Yeah.
play in the preseason. The fans are catching on to preseason, I think.
Well, and I think, but also part of the problem is they're not, and that's something you hear every year when the story comes up. Season ticket holders gripe hard. Those tickets are the same price. If you're a season ticket holder, you're required to pay for those one or two games that your team's having at home. You're required to pay full face value as if it was a week 15 game.
So why would you want to go?
So why would you want to go? Same reason. So you'd think preseason, let's fill up the stadium by charging cheap tickets. This is a great time to get families in there that might not be able to normally go.
Used to be the case.
Things like that. That's what you would do, right?
Yeah, I
But
went to plenty.
they're pretty much all charging. They want to make more and more and more. They don't have enough money with their billions. They need to make even more by continuing to gouge the blue collar fan.
It's ridiculous too, and football's got the problem too that the TV is much better to watch than the in-game experience. Now we're all, of course, experiencing the emotions of the game. That's why you go to it. But sooner or later, the price is going to hit a point where people are like, "Why am I going to this?"
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed going to Patriots games when I was younger, especially because Tom Brady was playing for him, and even before Brady played, when we got to watch Drew Bledsoe play. But the pro football in-person experience is kind of more designed for TV. I will say, no, I don't think there's anything else in live sports that beats when you're in a big time college football stadium with 100,000 plus of your closest friends and you can't hear the person next to you.
Mhm.
I think that'll beat watching college football game on TV every single time.
Mhm.
But the NFL they don't quite have the pomp and circumstance on game day that college does. So it's not quite the same.
Yeah, and ironically, it's because of the same thing we were talking about, prices and things like that. The students get in at such a lower price that you get that atmosphere
Oh yeah.
buzzing for college football.
Yeah.
The other thing that we were talking about a little earlier, KJ Hamler. I'm a big fan of him, man.
Yeah,
I
he
like
made
him.
his name back with the Broncos a few years ago, but he's been coming back from injury since.
Yeah, and he's my favorite type of wide receiver, and probably yours too, especially with Wes Welker and Julian Edelman being in your repertoire. But yeah, so KJ Hamler is trying to make the football team. He's a short, shifty wide receiver. They're trying to make names for themselves. So it seems like that kind of position starting to die off just a little.
A little bit.
Yeah, and it's going into the mid-frame guys that can do everything.
Especially with the way the rule changes are for the defense, you can get a bigger player in there.
Yeah, and someone that can do a little manhandling. But he is short. He's shifty. I guess he's working on his route running according to Hardknocks.
Fast,
and he's hyper fast. But he said his scooter was stolen. So in the first episode, he had a child scooter, which is funny. I think someone
may or may not have even been his scooter, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, and then he ended up getting a better scooter, and you saw his personality divulge out when it came to ringing the bell, and it was really funny.
That is something Hard Knocks does so well. So again, a great thing they did in this episode, focusing on a player's personality, showing a different side of him. I mean, he wears the Vibram 5-toe shoes too, which normally when people see those, they associate that with the granola hippie, with a hacky sack. But here's this guy having a ball on that scooter.
Yeah.
Like it was like Christmas morning when he found that bell.
yeah. I've never seen someone that's so excited over a bell. The physical staff, I guess, one of the ladies in there pointed it out, and he got a big kick out of it. But I hope he makes the team. Their wide receiver room isn't too stacked, so
it's not that stacked. And he's got enough talent where if he's healthy, again with the way starting last year that practice squads work now, I don't see why the Bills wouldn't keep him at least on the practice squad, just to try to keep him. I know other teams can come in and claim people off of each other's practice squads,
and I think they would actually.
Yes.
If they cut him, they're not getting him back.
Someone's going to pick him up.
Yeah, but I think the Bills know that. I think they're going to keep him, but
he'll stay. And with that speed too, like he can help out on special teams if really needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then that Mark Levy's birthday. If you don't know who Mark Levy is, Marv Levy, the ex-coach for the Bills. That
Tyler didn't know the mascot. You don't know the legendary head coach.
well. Cowboys are two of the reasons why I'm not going to consider them super legendary. But
I mean, he made 4 straight Super Bowls, so that's pretty good. He did lose 2 to those to the Cowboys.
Yeah, he sure did. So sorry, Marv.
Yeah. I think the only one that they kind of were close at winning was against the formerly known as the Redskins, right? That was pretty much the only one they were close at.
Yeah. I think that was, but it didn't.
No, the Giants. The Giants with the wide left. Yeah,
that's the one they should have won. That's the one they should have won. But Bill Parcells got his back-to-back that way. But yeah, that was a really cool thing with Sean McDermott. Oh, and that was another thing. The intro to the show with Sean McDermott. Okay, it wasn't as exciting as Dan Campbell. That's not his style. I'm not denying that. But I think he's a really good coach. And when they were talking about firing him, I was like, come on, Sean McDermott.
If they don't make the Super Bowl this year, he might be the hottest coaching free agent on the market going into next year. Behind Bill Belichick, of course.
Of course. But no, I'm a big fan of the coach. But I thought it was really cool that he reached out and called him, and then happy birthday, and it was a good little Easter egg in that show too. So I enjoyed that part for sure.
I did as well.
Yeah. But that's about all I got for Hard Knocks. You got anything else?
Let's get some drama next week, please. Please, let's get some drama. Show us some positional battles. Break down the positional battles. This guy versus this guy. Only one can make the team. Let's go.
the way Rob's treating him, I'd have to change the transition to soft knocks because I don't think he's a big fan of what they're producing out there.
Not currently, but we got a few weeks to go.
For sure. So that's all we got for the pod. Yeah, we filmed a little earlier, so we don't know what's going on with the Cowboys as of right now. Actually, Joe Milton could have thrown 3 touchdowns by now,
or he could have taken off the defender's head with the ball.
I'll take that. I'd be a fan. But so next week we're going to be breaking down some more preseason football as well. But other than that, Rob, do you mind doing your best role out here?
Yeah, let's. If you haven't found us yet, well, you found us now. Thank you for finding us. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Our subscribers are growing, and we're loving to see that. The numbers are growing every week. So make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Share it with a friend. We love having more and more people listening to us, talking football, and we're going to have more friends on soon. But of course, you can find us on X at UFL Homer Hour. You can find us on Instagram at the Nick and Rob Homer Hour. And of course, we're at YouTube as UFL Homer Hour as well, which is probably what you're watching on right now. Yeah, like, subscribe, share with friends. Let's go. Let's build this podcast.
Yeah, and I got big announcements too. We are on Spotify now. I have posted a couple episodes on Spotify. So
let's go Spotify.
Next step is Apple Podcasts, and of course, Apple's the trickiest one to get set up, but we'll get it figured. No, I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you, Siri.
Siri wanted to announce what time it was.
But yeah, I have a problem with you right now, Siri. I got to figure you in the Apple Podcast community out. But I'm going to work on that too. We'll get on there, and that way we hit everyone. That's Google, that's Spotify, and that's Apple, and of course YouTube as well.
Yeah, share with your friends. We're looking forward to the next week's pod, and enjoy watching some football.
Yep. See you guys later.